I have a very funny book to read to you today. This, again, is from Mary and her daughter Josie. Thank you so much. Look at this great illustration. It almost looks real. And the name of this book is The Sweetest Fig. The Sweetest Fig. There he is getting ready to eat the fig. And this book, oh, here's the inside. It's kind of golden. It's about some figs are that color. And here's the title page with figs. The Sweetest Fig by Chris Van Allsburg. Thank you, Chris Van Allsburg. I love this book. It's beautiful. And it's also a Caldecott winner, too. Look at this great illustration. What do we see there? We see a dog. We see the man. We see all of that. Monsieur Bibo, the dentist, was a very fussy man. He kept his small apartment as neat and clean as his office. If his dog, Marcel, jumped on the furniture, Bibo was sure to teach him a lesson, except on Bastille Day. The poor animal was not even allowed to bark. Very strict. And here he is, the dentist, trying to help this lady. Oh my goodness. One morning, Bibo met an old woman waiting at his office door. She had a toothache and begged for the dentist to help. "But you have no appointment," he told her. The woman moaned. Bibo looked at his watch. Perhaps there was time to make a few extra francs. He took her inside and looked in her mouth. "This tooth must come out," he said with a smile. When he was done, the dentist said, "I will give you some pills to take away your pain." I think she probably would have liked them before he took the tooth out. The old woman was very grateful. "I can't pay you in money, but I have something much better." She took 2 figs from her pocket and handed them to Bibo. "Figs?" Do you want to say that? That's how he said it. "Figs?" he said angrily. "Figs? These figs are very special," the woman whispered. "They can make your dreams come true." She winked at him and put her finger to her lips. It was clear to Bibo that this woman was crazy. He set the figs down and took her by the arm. When she reminded him about the pills, he said, "I'm sorry, only for paying customers." He wouldn't give her the pills and shoved her out the door. Bibo's very rude. That evening, Bibo took his little dog to the park. Poor Marcel loved to sniff the tree trunks and bushes, but whenever he stopped, Bibo would pull sharply on the leash. Just before going to bed, the dentist had a small snack. He sat at his dining room table and ate one of the figs that the old woman had given him. It was delicious. Possibly the finest, sweetest fig he'd ever had. In the morning, Bibo dragged Marcel down the stairs for his morning walk. The steep steps were hard for the short-legged dog. But Bibo wouldn't think of carrying his pet. He hated to get Marcel's white hairs on his beautiful blue suit. Poor Marcel. As he walked along the sidewalk, Bibo could not help noticing people looking at him. "They are admiring my suit," he thought. But when Bibo saw his reflection in the window of a cafe, he stopped in horror. He was dressed only in his underwear. That fig must have done something to his mind. The dentist, oh my gosh. He turned and ran into an alley. "Sacre bleu!" He thought, what has happened to my clothes? Then he remembered the dream he had had last night. In his dream, he had stood in front of that very cafe dressed in his underwear. Something else had happened in his dream, and Bebo struggled to recall it. Marcel, looking out from the shadows of the alley, began to bark. The dentist looked up and saw the rest of the dream was coming true. Oh my gosh, look at this. No one noticed Bebo as he ran home in his underwear. All the eyes of Paris were fixed on the Eiffel Tower, which slowly drooped over as if it were made of soft rubber. Bebo understood now that the old woman with the figs had told him the truth. He would not waste the second fig. So she said his dreams would come true. And he dreamed the Eiffel Tower went into a droop, and he dreamed he was walking around with his underwear, and it came true. So he thought, I better use these dreams better. I have one more fig. So there he is talking to himself in the mirror, giving him a real stern talking to. Over the next few weeks, as reconstruction of the Eiffel Tower began, the dentist read dozens of books on hypnotism. Each night before he went to sleep, he gazed into a mirror and whispered over and over, Bebo is the richest man on earth. Bebo is the richest man on earth. Bebo is the richest man on earth, he says intensely into the mirror. Bebo is the richest man on earth. Soon, in his dreams, that's exactly what he was. As he slept, the dentist saw himself sitting in his speedboat, flying his airplane, and living in luxury on the Riviera. Night after night, it was the same. Sitting on his speedboat. One evening, Bebo took the second fig from his cupboard. It would not last forever. Tonight, he thought, is the night. He put the ripe fruit on a dish and set it on his table. Tomorrow he would wake up the richest man in the world. He looked down at Marcel and smiled. The little dog would not be coming along. In his dreams, Bebo had Great Dane dogs. Sorry, Marcel, you don't get to come in my rich world. Bebo. Uh-oh, what's going on here? As the dentist reached into his cupboard to take out some cheese, he heard the crash of breaking china. He turned to see Marcel standing on a chair with his front paws on the table, chewing the last of the fig. Marcel is eating the fig. Oh, Bebo was furious. He chased the dog around the apartment. When Marcel ran beneath the bed, Bebo yelled at him, "Tomorrow I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget." Then the dentist, angry and heartbroken, went to sleep. When he woke the next morning, Bebo was confused. He was not in his bed. He was beneath it. Suddenly, a face appeared in front of him. His own face. "Time for your walk," it said. "Come to Marcel." A hand reached out and grabbed him. Bebo tried to yell, but all he could do is bark. The dog had a dream. And he dreamed that he was the owner. He was the man. He was Bebo, and Bebo was the dog. And it came true. I'm happy for the dog. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying. I'll see you next time.